Day 99, first part here, DynCorp, Haiti, and me. There's Pug Winokur, and that's what he does. He topples countries. I'm going to say DynCorp and CIA kind of simultaneously. DynCorp is going to be everything that the CIA wants to do below the line. And they have other pass-through or cut-out companies, but it's really the same thing. It's just everything that you would object to or that there would be a public debate about just gets put through DynCorp. So anything about developing a virus and then developing a vaccine, like for biological weapons, that gets put below the line. Anything about using sex and women as lures for entrapment, for asset forfeiture, that gets put below the line. Organ harvesting, well, they're our enemies anyway, so we'll have the ultimate revenge by using their organs and then giving life to the people we like. So it's kind of a God complex in a way. DynCorp, we kill the bad guys and we give life to the good guys, and that's the kind of philosophy that they have to tell their people in order to kind of get away with it. You remember James Clapper and Edward Snowden, and you probably remember the NSA and remember Booz Allen. This is one of the companies, Booz Allen here, that I was talking about before, which is kind of like a public-private partnership. And we've gone from, I think I saw on the last slide, from 2,000 vendors in 2010 to over 7,000 of these vendors. And Booz Allen, I think, is a huge vendor for the NSA as well as other agencies, CIA, and so forth. It's kind of been a switch because when Carlyle Group was established, that's kind of the old boys club for oil, okay? And that, they made $100 billion, with Cheney and Rumsfeld and Colin Powell and George Bush and so forth. But it's moved with the NSA and so forth, starting with that presidential decision directive of Bill Clinton in 1998. It's moved toward IT, where Booz Allen is, like, for instance, does the VA health system, and they do all the IT systems for a lot of these companies, as well as they've moved into downstream uses for oil, like drug development, with this vaccine thing. So here you see the Carlyle guy going into the public-private revolving door. Here comes Booz Allen in. Then it's going to go public with DHS, and then out goes the money with the private. In comes the tax dollars with the public, and out goes the money with the private. So it's kind of a clever, I love these because it's much better than an article or anything to understand. Private, public, private. It just explains everything. And one of the spin-outs from DHS was this Operation Underground Railroad. And this is Tim Ballard, the CEO. So he was a DHS agent for 12 years, and he ran sex sting operations. And you can see the little Haitian baby here with a heart in his hand, a little double entendre there maybe. So I'm going to get to that in a second. I didn't want to say, though, that the James Woolseys, the ex-CIA directors, or the Dick Cheneys were out of the oil business either. They stay in that business, and they're going to be in Genie Energy, for instance, and that's why they're trying to topple Syria. So I didn't want to take Jim Woolsey out of the picture here, but this is the new business, which is kind of death. It's taking out people and I'll show you. I think I mentioned before that if you want to take out a reporter, like an ex-CIA agent or a police officer who says, hey, in Los Angeles, the CIA is bringing in cocaine, or Gary Webb saying the CIA is bringing in cocaine and causing all this gang warfare, these are targets. And you can't you can just kill them like they did Michael Hastings in LA, but more you want to slowly kill them. And you do this through kind of a COINTELPRO and then CIA kind of techniques. And the way I said you do that is you take people who are convinced that they're doing the right thing. These, like the New Refuge. Now Laura Silsby from New Refuge Life that took the 33 Haitian kids, she might be aware that she's doing child abduction, but I'm pretty sure that these folks at this church think that they were doing the right thing and saving these kids. Catholics in Action was started by Alan Dulles, Christians in Action. There's hundreds of these that you're going to find as subcontractors. I am saying that Operation Underground Railroad, run here by Tim Ballard, is going to be funded through Booz Allen. And Booz Allen is doing a big, huge project in Utah, which is the NSA kind of command center for all your texts and calls and videos and everything you make. This video will be stored in Bluffdale. And the overrun or the slosh from that, from Booz Allen's contract there, is what funds things like this, which is Operation Underground Railroad. And so here's Tim Ballard talking about rescuing children from sex slavery, one Mormon's inspired mission. So he goes around to like the University of Utah and so forth, and it talks about how bad these sex traffickers are and so forth. And normally they have a film of them. And what they usually do is they try to entrapment again. This is the Andrew McCabe life story. They try to do entrapments, and they get these young college guys drunk or whatever, and they get a film of them with a younger girl. And then they show that to all the Mormon volunteers, and they go, oh, okay, yeah, he's a bad guy. So I actually have been researching this since kind of this child enslavement network since it goes back to 2003 with Paul Rodriguez of the Washington Times. If you remember the case with the Franklin scandal case, he was the reporter who broke that case, and I wanted to break a similar story in New York. So this has been going on since at least 2002 or 2003, and I believe the CIA agent who began the program way back then was Evan McMullen. And they were shifting from using Doug Coe's group to the